Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Expert. I am your girl, Dwania from Canadian Small Business Women. And let me tell you a little bit first about this segment. It's brought to you by Zero. Zero is a cloud accounting software for small businesses and their advisors, helping over 3.3 million subscribers around the world manage their accounting and bookkeeping quick and easy. Okay. I should say quickly and easily because that's just grammatically correct. So before we dive in, and before you hit the like button and the subscribe button and all those other good things, know that because you are part of the lovely Canadian small business women community, Zero is offering a discount to all of you. You can try Zero free for 30 days and then get the next 6 months 30% off. That's actually quite great. So you can click the link in the description to take advantage of this amazing offer. And yeah, make sure you also leave a comment to let us know how you're loving Zero because we want to get all your feedback. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our expert. Our special expert today is Emily. Hello, Emily, before I do your bio.
Hello, Dwania. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being our expert of the day. So let me give you a little 411 about Emily, everyone. She is a CPA and a partner at Rice and Company. That's an Alberta and BC-based CPA firm with clients across Canada. Now, she has a wide range of experience. Now, I might not get these letters all correct, but I'm throwing them out there. Her experience, including as a SaaS CEO, public company CFO, IT auditor, and tax advisor. And she uses this experience to help her small business clients with whatever they need. She's also a Zero ambassador, and she helps to share the benefits of the Zero accounting software in Canada. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here today.
Okay, so you know what? Let's dive into some questions because that's what everyone's here. They really want some answers. So we're going to talk about accounting and bookkeeping basics. What is the difference between accounting and bookkeeping? And why are both so important for businesses?
They're two sides of the same coin. So bookkeeping is very much what it says. It's keeping your books. It's making sure that you are keeping your receipts, that you're writing them down. In the old days, it would be a paper ledger where you'd be making sure that everything that you did, all your expenses were recorded, all of your income was recorded, and you're just making sure all of that exists. And that at the end of it, you can balance your checkbook and see how much money you have left. Accounting is really taking that to the next step to say, so what? So we have a set of books. So if we have this much books, how much are we going to owe in tax? Accountants will generally do tax. How much am I earning? What are my margins? What do my books show me? So it's kind of the facts and the analysis.
So all those times, like growing up when you would see like your mom or your grandmother talking about they're balancing their checkbooks, and I used to snicker. It really does come into play as a business owner.
It does. It's kind of I get asked advice all the time for new businesses, and the number one thing is keep your books. Whether that's in Excel or on paper or in Zero or some other system, just make sure you're keeping records because that is very hard to recreate after the fact. We can do a tax return that's late, but trying to recreate 3 years of missing records, it's a lot rougher.
Definitely, because oftentimes we can't even remember what we ate yesterday, let alone to try to keep records of numbers for years.
Absolutely.
So now we know the difference between accounting and bookkeeping. What are some of the things that businesses should think about when they're setting up their business accounting and or bookkeeping?
So everything can scale with time and nothing is permanent. The most important thing you do is something. If you are starting a small business and you are bringing in $1,000 a month, you should not pay me money. You should not pay a bookkeeper money. You should do it yourself. And there are tons of tools out there that can help you. And failing that, there's paper. So, absolutely, it will scale with time. It doesn't have to be flawless from the beginning. But the best thing you can do is make a conscious decision to keep those records, keep them up to date, no matter how you're doing it.
Like the practice makes perfect. You want to get it right when you're a small business before you start growing, because then it becomes out of control.
Yeah, and keeping those records then allows you to access accessible advice. If somebody comes to me with books that are done and says, I have my books, they're done, I just need to file a tax return, that's not particularly expensive to do. But if they come in with a shoebox of receipts, that's a whole nother price. So it's really cost effective to keep your own books.
Okay. So then, other question. So some businesses might feel like they're not ready for an accountant. When and why should businesses consider working with a small business advisor like yourself?
I'd say there's two different things, two possibilities. One is if you're incorporated. Doing a small business tax return or a corporate tax return is more complicated than doing your personal tax return. Personal taxes are generally in Canada pretty easy these days, but corporate taxes can be complicated. So if you have incorporated, I would often advise to work with some accountants, at least on the year-end taxes. Besides that, it becomes when you spending time on your books and your records is taking away from the success of your business, which is a great position to be in. Eventually, we all hope to scale to the point where, if you're doing the books for 2 hours, that's 2 hours that you can't be selling or delivering. So at that time, it becomes a very, again, cost-effective solution to say, no, let's outsource this. Maybe I'm going to work with an accountant or a bookkeeper and outsource that part of my business so that I can focus on what I do and grow my business.
And then oftentimes there are things that you don't see that an accountant's eye would be really good for, right? I mean, I'm a strong believer from the start, get an accountant, just get one.
And there is, Xero's got awesome stats behind them that show that, a huge percentage of businesses fail in the first 5 years, but that's reduced by nearly half if they're working with an accountant or a bookkeeper. So, because we do see different things, and we may at times, even though it's hard to hear, bring the reality to the discussion to say, you've been losing money every month for 6 months. Should you really be keeping this going? Should we be changing something? Do we need to lay somebody off? Do we need to reduce the size of the office? What solutions can we come up with here to make it profitable? And when you're doing it yourself and you're so overwhelmed with just trying to keep the doors open and keep your customers happy, sometimes, you have a forest for the trees problem. So those external advisors can really help you.
Yeah. And, even when looking for an accountant, sometimes it's so beneficial when you're just starting, like you're saying, in those first 5 years, to find an accountant who have in their portfolio businesses that are similar to yours, because they've seen the ins and outs that these businesses have gone through, and they're probably able to advise you a little bit better.
Definitely. We're a huge advocate at Bryce & Company of being good at something and owning it. And in our case, it's Xero, and we are experts at it. And if people come to us using a competitor's product, we may convert them to Xero. But if they say, no, for whatever reason, it's really critical, I use my existing solution, then we refer them to an accounting firm that are experts at that solution so that they're getting the right advice for their situation.
Awesome. And everyone, remember, Xero was really created not just for accountants, it's created for small businesses and for accountants to be able to kind of flow together. It's not like some other software that might just be created for one group. So it's a perfect match. And remember to take advantage of the deal that they're offering at the link in the description. Don't forget to do it. Okay, let me jump to the next question. And so bookkeeping is often a task that no one enjoys. I haven't met one person who said, "Yeah, I love bookkeeping," because it's time consuming and it's manual. What are some ways that businesses can make bookkeeping easier?
Moving to an online system, it helps a ton. You know, can you do it with paper and pencil? Yes, absolutely. But it takes a long time and you do have to sit down and do it. Whereas the online solutions now, for example, with Xero, you know, they bought HubDoc, a great Canadian success story, and that allows you to take pictures of receipts from your phone. So if you're out and you buy a client lunch, you can take a picture of that receipt, click, and you've already got the record. And then you can ensure that it's properly explained later, but you've got the record. You can throw the receipt away. You never have to worry about, binders and binders of receipts. And same thing, if somebody comes in by an email, you can just forward it to an email address. It gets picked up, put in automatically. And then, you're once a month that you're going to do it, you're able to go into Xero, go into HubDoc, see all the pictures and all the receipts that you uploaded and say, this is a meal, this is a new computer, this is a business expense. And they're all there. And then when you download your bank statement from the bank in Xero, for example, it will actually just match those. So you can put in all your receipts, and then when your bank statement says, oh, you spent $200 at Staples, the system says, oh, I already have a $200 receipt from Staples. They must be related, and they match. So it's not all sorts of writing and trying to figure things out. I spend most of my time when I'm doing my clients' books just clicking the OK button to say, yep, it reconciles. Yep, it reconciles. So while it is a cost, though I think a very affordable one, the benefits of using online software is just really, really great.
Yeah, and like you said earlier too, you have to think of the cost associated with the time that you're spending and what you could use that time for in your business. Like, how much is that 2, 3, 4, 5 hours worth to you, and what can you do with it? So automation is the way to go.
Absolutely.
So do small businesses, I guess we can say yes, but I'll let you answer. You're the expert. I'm just here. Do small businesses really need accounting software?
Yeah. I mean, my honest answer, do you absolutely critically must have it? No, you can get by without it. You can use Excel. But it is so much easier on you, your advisors, your family, and everybody else if you do use accounting software, because you'll be faster, more efficient, and way less likely to lose receipts. So when the CRA shows up and says, hey, we need to see your receipts, you're not going, oh, where are those from 3 years ago? You just open up your system and they're there. So
Okay. Answer is yes, everyone. Yes.
definitely it is worth it.
Our last question of this segment is going to be, what are some of the other small business tasks that accounting software like Xero can help with?
So much. So people think of it just as bookkeeping, as, oh, I put my receipts in there. But you can send out your invoices to it, including from an app. There's Xero on your phone. So if you do in-person sales or you travel, if you're a massage therapist and you bill people on the spot, you can generate a professional invoice on the spot, goes to the client's email. There's a button on the invoice that allows them to pay now through PayPal, Stripe, Square, or other payment providers. So you can reduce the amount of time it takes for people to pay you. You can ensure that you're getting paid, and you can keep professional receipts on the sales side as well. They can also track your capital assets. So, as you grow, if you buy more computers and more monitors because you hire more staff and you buy desks, all of that can be tracked in the software so that you have a list of your inventory. And so it's so much more than just keeping a copy of that receipt.
Wow. So I think we've learned a lot for this segment, right? We talked about the differences in accounting and bookkeeping and why you need to have accounting software and that you probably should have accounting software and all those other things. So remember to submit your accounting and bookkeeping questions in the comments or in the link in the description, because we definitely will come back and answer your questions. And if you have other business related questions, you can submit them in the link in the description as well. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts on the segment. A special thank you to our segment sponsor, Xero. Remember, Xero is offering a discount to members of the Canadian Small Business Women community. You can try Xero for free for 30 days, then get 30% off for 6 months. Click the link in the description below to get started. And thank you to our special guest expert today, Emily. I guess we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.